Burglars always come at night. An attack does not last more than 30 seconds, and there is nothing to get at my place anyway. There are many different myths about burglaries, but what is it really like? Hi, I'm Chris, and in this video I am answering some fascinating questions about burglaries, crime and burglary protection. I will mention some numbers. The basis for this is mostly the crime statistic of the Federal Crime Police Office in Germany. I link them in the description. If there are other sources of information, I link those in the description as well. First, let's talk about what is most effective against burglars. Apparently, it's the Home Office. In fact, in 2020, there was a historic low in residential burglaries, but single-family home burglaries are quite stable. Crime statistics indicate only 75,000 burglaries in 2020 in Germany, which is a quarter less than the previous year. What does that mean? Well, just stay at home all the time and nothing will happen to your valuables? Unfortunately, this is only partly true. The fact that people are home more may keep most opportunistic criminals away. But criminal gangs and skilled attackers know what they're going to do and study the property maybe weeks in advance. They probably will know when you will be not home and then choose a convenient time. And nobody wants to stay home all day. Therefore, it's quite clear that, especially in the case of single-family houses and let's say large properties such as villas, the number of burglaries hardly changes. Here's another interesting fact about vacation homes. Here, burglars might prefer to attack when somebody is there, because then there is more to get than when the house is left and the residents take all their valuables back home. If you are really interested in what the most effective measures against burglars are, then watch this video. Here I'll talk about mechanical and electronic burglary protection and how exactly you can secure your house against burglars. Second, let's talk about when do most burglaries happen? Well, there is a study by the Cologne police, located in Germany, from 2017 that examined exactly when most burglaries happen. While the research relates to the Cologne and Leverkusen area, that's two cities in Germany, the results are likely similarly in other parts of the world. The study says that around 40% more burglaries happen between October and March than during the brighter seasons. This is because burglars are able to get away in the dark and the risk of detection is of course lower. Now, what about the time of the day? Most burglaries, in fact 36%, happen between 4 and 8 p.m. in the evening hours. So while you're at sports or at the theater, the burglars come. But that does not mean that burglaries do not happen at another time. Even in the early afternoon, the curve rises. If you are really interested in what the most effective measures against burglars are, then watch this video. Here I talk about mechanical and electronic burglary protection and how exactly you can secure your house against burglars. Third, where are the most burglaries? In 2017, the police conducted another existing study that has interesting results on this topic. It can be said quite clearly that the most burglaries per 100,000 inhabitants happen in and around big cities. In addition, areas with good escape routes, such as, for example, railroad lines, forests, or even national borders, are particularly at risk. Expert burglars or gangs also target wealthy single homes with no direct neighbors. There, the risk of detection is much lower even during the day. So if you're wondering where to move to minimize the risk of burglary, you could say, well, move to the countryside, but still build within sight of neighbors. And if you want a big park or high hedges around your house, you need, of course, extra good burglary protection. Fourth, how do most burglars get into the house? The study by the Cologne police in Germany shows that in single-family homes, about 60% of the burglaries happen at the back of the house. For multiple family houses, it is only about 22%, because multifamily houses often do not have a garden. Here, access via the front door is easier. In fact, 43% of the burglars enter the apartment building from the front of the house. For single-family houses, it is only about 15%. What do we conclude from this? If you have a single-family house, you should especially secure the back of the house. Also make sure that these areas are illuminated, for example with motion detectors. This makes it more likely that burglars will be detected. Let's stick to single-family houses and look at where exactly burglars most commonly attack. According to the German police, patio and balcony doors are the most frequently attacked. Almost half of all burglaries in single-family homes happen through those doors. After that comes normal windows with a little less than 30%. In total, almost 80% of all burglars occur through windows and balcony doors. 80%! Front doors are attacked about 20% of the time, and basement doors and basement windows accounts for less than 5% of the attacks. Therefore, it is very important that your windows are well protected. I'll link you to a video in which we tested different resistant classes of windows. Fifth, what are the most common burglary tools? If windows and doors do not resist the burglar, a simple screwdriver might be enough to open a window. Since this method is relatively quiet, the screwdriver is a very common burglary tool. But what about when the houses are better secured? When the window frame is not easy to lift and the door lock is difficult to pick? Then burglars like to have a sledgehammer, crowbar, axe, or another heavy tool with them. And that makes a little more noise, of course. Oh. In houses that stand alone, noise is not the only big issue for the burglar. If, for example, a large prey is expected, burglaries are often planned in advance. Then the burglar does not care so much if it is very quiet. He just wants to make the most lucrative loot as quickly as possible and be gone again before the police arrive. Number 6. How many burglaries fail? The crime statistics of the German police also state what percentage of burglary attempts fail. In 2022, that was about 46%, and the trend is upward. This is due to the fact that more and more apartments and houses are equipped with burglar-resistant windows and doors. In 2012, on the other hand, only 37% of burglaries failed. Number 7. What do burglars fail at? Statistics from the city of Cologne in Germany show that 44% of failed burglaries fail at secured windows and patio doors. 46% fail at houses and apartment doors. So if you protect your windows and doors, the burglar will probably not make it into the house. Now here's something very interesting. About every 10th German is burglarized at least once in his life. So it is definitely worth investing in burglary protection. About 10% of failed burglaries are due to alarm systems. Therefore, police forces also recommend electronic burglary protection, but as a supplement to mechanical burglary protection. Because, according to the police, what the burglar needs to be confronted with is not only the alarm system in first place, but it is time. The longer it takes, the more dangerous it becomes for the perpetrator, and the more likely he is to give up. The 2017 study by the City of Cologne police evaluated more than 2,000 burglaries. Of all the burglaries evaluated, only 17 burglaries were successful, even if the house was protected. So, you see, burglary protection, especially mechanical burglary protection, pays off. Now, I will briefly summarize the most important information of these statistics again. In the dark season, between around 4 and 8 p.m., the most burglaries occur. The darker it is, the more likely burglaries come. But that does not mean the risk is zero at other times. Burglars prefer to come when no one is at home. 80% of the burglaries in single-family houses happen through windows, patio and balcony doors, and at the back of the house. Almost half of the burglaries fail, mostly due to mechanical burglary protection. Well, that was a lot of exciting information about burglaries, but what does it mean in concrete terms? And how do you protect yourself from burglars? I talk about that in this video here. I give concrete tips on how you can effectively protect the weakest points of your house against burglars. If you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.